better luck this week, and the video is
A little bit better.
But first, we have a special guest with us today.
Hi,
Livy, can you say hi? Can you say hi?
We're a little shy today.
You can just wave. How about you wave?
Just point at the camera. That works.
Well, we're lucky to have her because we're right smack in the middle of iPad time. And when you're right in the middle of iPad time, it's hard to want to do anything else other than iPad.
Oh, look, she's sitting up a little bit.
Okay, all right. She's getting into it. There you go. But as we have been, now this is our second video where we are doing our top 5 favorite countries to take kids. This is our second one, and we figured we might as well have one of the kids in it with us while we talk about it.
Right.
And I don't think we even said yet what today's country is. Do you want to tell them what today's country is? This could be dangerous. You could say a totally off-the-wall place.
What are we talking about?
What country? What place? Portugal. She's right. Yes, today's video, the live today, is all about Portugal and why we think it's a great place to go with kids.
And we're drinking port wine.
Yes. So let's.
Why not?
Okay, I'll got this, but. And it said dessert glasses or port wine specific glasses. You waving? We have neither.
Neither.
And then it said if you don't have either, you can drink it out of a
champagne glass,
sparkling wine glass. So it feels kind of weird to be doing that. Like it just doesn't seem like that you would put it in here. But
also, now that I'm thinking about it, that may or may not be a heavy pour.
I think it might. Yeah, I think you're supposed to maybe have like this much. So we'll just drink it slowly. Yeah.
Wasn't you drink at Donna?
Oh, we have water. Water.
And then you can have taco.
But you have to have water with your dinner. That's exactly right.
This is always so stressful. It's like you never know what's
you never know what's going to come out. So let us know where you're watching from and what you're drinking. And we have port wine.
Right.
So that's what we'll be sipping on throughout this. But as Olivia said, we are talking all about Portugal today. So somebody's excited. Why did we want to visit Portugal? Why did you want to visit Portugal?
Why did I?
Yeah.
What
else?
Place I also like that I go to it where I go to it my to like a room like that has like even a lot of stuff and there's like
to tell you
I can't word in edgewise.
But so she's talking about the favorite things that we did there for her. We went to the Oceanarium, or as she called it at the time, the fish park.
And there was also sand.
And there was some sand there, yeah. There were some birds there, even like some turtles.
There was lots of water.
Lots of water.
Yeah.
Yes. It takes lots of water to fill an aquarium.
Yeah.
So that was one of her favorite things. But why we kind of wanted to go there was it's very affordable.
Super affordable.
Very. We had heard that it's incredibly family friendly from people who have gone there with kids. It's also small enough that you can kind of just explore it in a short weekend, or there's enough to do there that you could fill like a week or so time if you wanted to go for longer. And we specifically went to Lisbon, but there are lots of very cool cities.
And the place that I went with that's the place that I went with my friends, and we went past that place.
Yeah.
Do you know the place that I'm talking about?
The place with the fish?
No, the place that that's has like a place that I went on my daycare with.
Oh, a field trip?
Well, I don't
Yeah.
think your
Yeah.
friends went to Portugal.
No,
No.
not Portugal.
Oh, somewhere else. It was
How-
kind of like it.
That's like that has a lot of toys and that has waddle games that like,
Oh, maybe a museum?
yeah, it's
Okay.
a museum
Okay.
that has
Well, that makes sense. So those were kind of the main reasons. I don't know.
me and Julia saw that place when we were going on the walk. Did you know that?
Yeah.
It's funny. So I was particularly excited about the Portuguese wine. Brittany was with child and
Yes.
was unable to partake, so yay me.
I was not able to have any of the local wines. So,
Bummer, you missed that.
yes, that just means we'll have to go back and do that activity at a later time.
Mhm. And then they have a great Christmas market, which one wouldn't expect. You could walk around the Christmas market in shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah, it was very cool. It was actually pretty mild weather when we were there. We had we kind of just wore like long sleeves, but then at times, it was like you could wear short sleeves. And this was in December. So good weather there all year round. So I highly recommend it for if you want somewhere nice for the summer or if you're looking for somewhere warmer, kind of like a warmer city in Europe during the winter months.
It got
We
super
don't have
Like,
March,
I
April.
don't even know these days. What?
But did you know when it gets out to get some when it's gonna but did you know when it's snowing we could like go there and get some Christmas decorations?
We could. We went to the Christmas market and we saw lots of fun Christmas decorations. So if you go during like the holiday season, I forget exactly when it opens. I assume November and December, maybe even part of January.
I almost said right after Thanksgiving. And I was like,
Yeah, not so much in Portugal, but they have a really cool Christmas market. So definitely, right? Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah.
did. They had rides, and you rode a big Ferris wheel.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's fun.
But yeah, those were kind of the main reasons that we wanted to go there. And then in terms of why we thought it was super kid friendly after we had gone, the people there love kids. Like, I mean, the place we stayed, they memorized Olivia's and always talk to her before they would even like say hi to us. They would say hi to her. So they loved kids so much there. And then anytime you'd go into like a restaurant,
Had like a whole toy chest that they like brought out so they could play with toys while we were there. It was great.
oh yes. So that kind of leads us into where we stayed.
Mhm.
The place was called Santiago de Alfama.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if I'm pronouncing the area correctly, but the Alfama or Alfama
I think it's
is
probably Alfama.
probably Alfama. That's the area of Lisbon that we stayed in, and it was just central to everything. It was close to the big castle there, and it was right along kind of the water line, so it was a little too chilly for us to go to the beach. Yeah, unfortunate. But if you do stay there,
It was probably one of the coolest hotel rooms I think we've ever stayed.
yeah, I definitely think so. The bathroom was probably just as big as like the
Big.
room. It was insane. If you haven't seen our Lisbon video, we have one that we basically just give a tour of the hotel room and part of it. And so if you're interested in staying there, check that out because we show like a full room tour and you can see just how crazy big it is.
Also, if you watch that video, we've gotten a lot better since then.
Yeah, we've improved.
We've improved.
But no, that was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So I can definitely recommend the area because it was just close to everything.
We walked almost everywhere, I think, except for, I think we maybe took 2 or 3 Ubers, if that. It was so cheap.
Yes.
And it was so easy.
Yeah, the Uber situation there was
a little loud.
okay. Well, hold on.
If
You can go over there if you want to turn it louder. Do you want to go over there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you want to say bye before you go over? Can you wave bye?
We're having some more relaxing time.
Yeah. So in terms of transportation, yes, the Ubers were really affordable there, and we walked most places, but there were some places that were further away, definitely not in walking distance, like the Oceanarium and then Bellum Tower.
Mhm.
But we took Ubers there for really cheap.
The cool thing is that all of the Ubers actually had booster seats. So if your kids are a booster seat age, it was awesome. We didn't have to carry a car seat around.
No, it
This is the first time we've
was
ever
so nice.
experienced that.
Yeah, very cool.
So nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Kurt, asking how quarantine is. Well, we haven't
It's
gone there in like 2 months.
I
but
know.
we're all healthy and we're all happy
We're on
and
week.
employed. And
Is this week 8?
oh man,
I've lost track a little bit.
Friday the 13th of March was the first day that we came inside. So
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
It's all just kind of blending together at this point, but we're finding ways to just stay entertained. Like I think that the best thing that happened this weekend was it kind of warmed up a little bit,
yeah.
which now we had like a whole nother assortment of activities because we could be outside a lot more. So
Brittany,
having like outdoor abilities is
Yeah.
great.
although Brittany still found a way to make some flour mixture that is now in the cracks of our wooden floorboards.
One of my coworkers sent me a recipe for this stuff called, it's either moon dough or cloud dough or something like that. And it's basically you mix like flour with like canola oil, and it makes this like kind of sand, kind of Play-Doh thing. And
Make sure you thank him for that.
yeah, it got everywhere. But Olivia enjoyed it, and so did Everett. So, there's that. What are you going to do? You got to keep them entertained somehow, right? So if anybody out there has any good keep your little ones entertained advice, we're looking for new activities every day. Ones that preferably don't
Every day.
involve getting flour everywhere on the floor. Yes. So back to, we're talking about the area. Did we say everything we want to
Talked
say?
about Uber.
Yes,
Yes.
Uber. Uber was one of the good ways to get around, and it's affordable and has lots of child seats.
Mhm.
But you can also take the tram, which is, let's be honest, it's one of the more fun ways to get around.
I will say it's not easy with a stroller.
No. So we actually, there's like the regular tram, and I think it's it's typical like yellow looking tram. I think it's either the 28 or the number 24.
28 sounds fine.
I think it's maybe the 28 is like the popular one. But we actually took it looks like the tram, but we took the funicular up this hill, and then when you get to the top of it, there's this really pretty kind of like lookout area, which we went during the holidays, so they had kind of like a Christmas market set up there. But
it is 20, and I have no idea. I don't know how you like.
I don't know. I just
was
thought
a year and a
or something. Funicular de Gloria.
That does sound familiar.
Yeah.
now.
That's the one that we took. I think that's kind of like the famous
God, you
one.
never forget anything.
No, I do.
It's like kind of creepy.
If you asked me like something else, I'd probably I just remember like those things. But we were talking about like the wine, or I guess it was a liqueur that Nick tried
No
when
idea.
we first got to the hotel, and
Gingina.
yeah, and that we had to read in quarantine.
Yeah, it was good. We just got off of our 6-hour flight. So that's the weird thing. Like one thing that it sounds great in theory, but then you realize that you leave at like 9 p.m. and you get there at the equivalent of 7 a.m. And so by the time you get through meal service and then you get woken up for breakfast, now you're looking at like 3.5 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And you have a toddler with you.
Yeah.
That's 0 hours of sleep.
Yeah, we actually found it a little bit better when it was like a longer flight, like maybe an 8-hour flight, which, it sounds like, are you crazy? But it's long enough to where like you can sleep kind of like you're full, or maybe not full, but close to like what you would get on a normal night's sleep. So that by the time you get there, you're rested and you can just like go about your full day because it's morning when you get over to Europe. If you're coming from the US. But so those are always nice. Obviously your kids have to sleep for that to be a fun strategy.
Yeah. And I think the one other thing that bothered me, it was I think it was a 737 on the route. So it was like there was no center aisle. There was only like a 3-3.
Oh,
so it was like
yeah.
a small.
It wasn't
thing.
like the 2 aisles that you
Yeah.
could kind of walk back and
Yeah, it was
forth
tiny.
and have it be comfortable.
Oh, stuff.
Yeah, but it is. I mean, it's nice that they offer like that short flight. It
Yeah.
is definitely nice coming home when you're coming from
yeah.
Europe to the U.S. because
It was like 0 net time.
you leave early in the morning. You leave Portugal early in the morning, and then you get to the U.S. like
Early in the morning.
yeah, it's basically like the same time as you left. So I'm sure it might be like, I don't know how that works. If you're vacationing from your like Portugal and going to the U.S., it's probably opposite. But I don't know.
Kurt has to leave. He says thanks for joining, but thank you for coming in. Yeah, we are so close to 1,000 subscribers. We have like 50 left.
I know
I'm
we
pretty
are
psyched
very
about
close. So
getting
thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. And then if anybody else is new and you're watching this, be sure to subscribe because eventually we'll be out there traveling again. Until then, you can watch some of the old videos.
Watch us just drink on Sunday nights. Like
yeah, or that. Here you go. Cheers to that. By the way, I don't know why I started talking like right before I took a sip.
I don't know.
But we've been doing we've been showing you basically it probably sounds like one big Trader Joe's ad. I probably is another Trader Joe's variety. So
Are you tired?
are you coming back to join us? Do you want to sit on my lap?
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll get you on in just a minute. Okay.
Well, I can get it real quick. Or if she did ask. Like,
Okay, you can go and I'll
10 minutes.
yeah, I think we
hold
did
down
right.
the fort.
Sure.
Okay.
Do
You going over there? I'll go get you something to drink.
you want to sit with me while Daddy gets you something to drink? You can stay over there if you're tired. The fun of these, right, Libby? Yeah, but she likes making videos and she likes being in front of the camera and showing the camera her travel adventures.
And I like taking pictures.
And she's become our little photographer lately.
I like taking pictures.
Yes, she's been taking
I
pictures.
was watching my iPad.
That's true. Watching her iPad is one of her favorite activities, especially when she's on the plane. Livy, how many times do you think you've seen Frozen?
60 times.
60 times? I bet it's higher.
That seems like
I bet
a
it's
little.
higher.
2018.
2018.
2018. Maybe.
It's just water.
Yep.
So, speaking of water, maybe we should talk about some of our favorite foods there because, let's be real, that was one of the biggest reasons we went.
That segue was a stretch.
I know. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear us over this iPad. You might have to turn this thing on.
No.
Okay, well, you can go back over to your little tent spot if you want.
Sorry, don't.
That was a close call.
Don't turn down the iPad.
Yeah. I have to say that my favorite thing that we ate there was probably the famous egg tarts, they're called the pastel de nata. We just ate them all day, every day. Not gonna lie. We tried them through some of the most famous. You're silly.
I'm not silly.
Yeah, they're just like little egg custard tarts, and they're kind of like sweet, and they eat them all the time there for breakfast, for snacks. So good.
I thought they were cheese at first.
Yeah, Nick had no idea because I had been the one that like kind of found all the different famous things to try, so I knew what they were. But Nick is like,
I like food, and you just park me in front of it, and I'll eat whatever's put in front of me. But I had no idea what the heck that thing was.
which you tried some.
Cod, sardines.
Yeah. I didn't. So they're famous for sardines and I couldn't bring myself to do the sardines. Not my favorite thing, but Nick tried them.
Like
Olivia tried.
Like 11 months old, maybe.
And then since then, like when she went to Japan, she just broke loose and had like octopus that was like from a market that was like flame grilled right on the spot.
She's a little adventurous one.
Yeah, she is very. But yeah,
it all started with that sardine.
It maybe so. That you could be right. Maybe it was. But they're also very famous for different types of sausages there. which Olivia found particularly pleasing
She
because
loves sausage.
she does. Though the one that we tried was kind of like a red pepper one, and so it was a little spicy. But
Was that in that like little like was it Cafe 42 or something?
something like that, or 42, 52.
You guys
one
don't
of
want the
those.
freakish memory.
I don't know. I thought it was 52, but it could be 42. But it was kind of like small plates, so we sampled a lot of different
All the
things.
plates? Just
Yes.
whatever.
We had like this sausage that again they kind of like flamed right there at the table side.
I forgot about that
It
one.
was so good. And the cool thing was all the food that they brought out, like it had its own individual sauces for like an accompaniment.
I know. But then you got to like as you started growing, you started like testing the different sauces. on the
Yeah.
different-
Oh, we did. We did a video around that one too. I think it's in one of our videos. So if you also want to see some of the crazy food we ate, that is in one of them too.
I'm really hungry now.
I know. And we just had dinner.
I know.
We did make a stop to McDonald's.
Fine dine at its finest.
Do you remember what you got there?
I sure do.
Of course.
The
The talk about the memory. He has a memory for things like his McDonald's orders.
the Town and Country chicken sandwich.
Ah.
It was. I'm getting to it.
Okay. All right.
It was a toasted bun with a tin patty and American cheese, which really bugs it out of me. Tartar sauce. Yeah. And I think there was some like onions on there, but it was interesting because it wasn't like a standard bun. It was like a ciabatta bun, but it wasn't actually a ciabatta. It was a very strange sandwich.
Yeah. I know I didn't get that one, but I can't remember what I got. But I mean, yeah. I feel like you liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. It was McDonald's. I love going to McDonald's and
McFish. I don't know. Who knows? It's McEverything. But yeah, so we did make a stop at McDonald's.
Have to.
Yeah, those are kind of the main things we got, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some good food.
Oh yeah, it was good. I didn't have any board there, but
I did.
yeah, you did.
When in Rome, or I guess in this case,
Portugal. Yes. So then some of our favorite things that we did there, we kind of covered like a few of them. We talked about the aquarium, which Olivia loved. The oceanarium.
That was such a cool one too, and it doesn't, on first glance, seem family friendly. Like you walk there, and it's like there's just an escalator, and then they're like, "Please come with us," and then they like take you through like the back, and at first it feels like, I don't know, maybe I'm gonna get murdered, or maybe like it was weird.
Yeah,
to, like,
it was
back
really
alleys.
strange.
But then they like had this person like literally guide us to the top of the building with an elevator, and then they like showed you how to wander down the entire path. So like just having a stroller, you didn't have to wait in any sort of a line. You didn't have to do anything. It was great. And then you got a nice, good behind the scenes look.
Yeah, so there's definitely a way you can do it with the stroller, and I'm glad that they had it kind of like all figured out because it just made it super easy.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's a little bit outside of Lisbon, as we mentioned, so it's not somewhere you can walk to.
Is it not actually in Lisbon?
I'm not entirely sure.
I think it's actually in Lisbon.
Oh, well, I just mean like on the outskirts,
it's like
not
the
like
city.
center. I think it probably is, but it was only what, like 5 miles maybe?
Yeah, it wasn't far. It was closer to the airport.
Yeah. So it was easy to get to. If you take Uber, it was super affordable and definitely a cool thing to do. So I recommend it. They had like a little park thing at the end of it, a little playground type place.
I forgot about that.
You could let the kids burn off some energy at the very end after looking at all the fish.
You know what I remember that? The midpoint temper tantrum station.
Oh my gosh.
There were like 3 families, ours included, having a giant meltdown halfway down. I don't know what the temper tantrum was about, but holy moly.
It was, crazy. She did. She was not happy at points at that. But
she did see Dory.
Yes, she saw Dory and she had fun. So definitely check. Olivia was really into that one because we kept telling her we were going to go to a castle, and she wanted to go to a castle.
Princess has to be.
Yes, some sort of small admission fee to get in, but the view alone
worth it
is so cool. So you walk in and like you kind of just like you look at the view and you take pictures because it's just amazing. We tried to time it out with sunset so that we got like
We did.
through it. So it was really fun. You got to kind of like watch the little ones, I feel like, because there are like loose. I mean, you have like if we had Everett right now and he's just like about to walk, it would be a bit different of a conversation.
I'd be wearing him.
We'd still do it, but yeah, we'd just be doing it a little differently. But that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Another must, I think.
The other awesome was Bellum Tower. We didn't go in it. It was cheap like that.
Right? It's like that iconic, like really tall tower right on the water. Again, it was a little bit of ways like outside of the city center.
Yeah.
But and you can pay to like go across this bridge and then go inside it and go up. But like
Olivia was too busy feeding giving dogs coins and running around the park, and so we just
it was a nice day that day, and she was having so much fun just running up and down the steps.
Somebody from Brazil.
Oh, hey.
That's like kind of
Brazil.
Like, kind of Portugal. I mean, opposite side of the ocean, but
yeah, I mean, in no way, but
the Brazilians were discovered by the Portuguese.
All right. Okay.
You would know that if you paid attention to the Explorers Monument, which is right next door to the Bellum Tower.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, hello from Brazil. We're happy you are here. We're talking about Portugal today. And we were just thinking about in Portugal. Let us know if you've ever been there.
All right. The next awesome thing. Well, we already talked a little bit about the Elevator de Gloria, which is kind of a really cool funicular.
Yeah.
Which is, it's fun. You have to do like once. But at the top of that is
Portugal, specifically Lisbon, without going to a cereal bar, right?
Yeah.
International, from everywhere, international, like all over the place. It had some of your classics, some that we'd never heard of. You could like totally create your own.
It's Frosted Flakes, I think, Cinnamon Life, and I want to say Honey Nut Cheerios, and then it was topped with.
You remember like your cereal order.
What?
Yeah.
That's
saying.
This cereal was life-changing.
Formulated or whatever, like just already arranged, so you didn't have, because I'm telling you, there were toppings for days. Like you just have like what's that called? Like by
analysis.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Also, I'm still gassed that you said that this was not important.
Okay, but anyways, look up Pop Cereal Bar in Lisbon. You'll see all of the options just for fun, even if you're not going there, because maybe you are stuck in quarantine and you want something fun to do with your kids. Mm-hmm. Set up a little cereal bar and let them pick the toppings. That is
brilliant. Why do you think of that after you think of getting flour everywhere? Like, why didn't we just lead with that?
I don't know. But yeah, Olivia had cereal for her snack tonight, and it was just plain old Elsa marshmallow type cereal. Yeah. Yeah, we might have to try that because we thought it was really cool going there. So maybe it's like one of those. We've been thinking about doing some videos where it's like cooking some of our favorite foods from our travels. Or so maybe we could do something like just different restaurant experiences, or I don't know. We have some different ideas for a lot of our favorite creators in it. And it's kind of like a Q&A of what some of our other friends are doing. And during their time, some of them are in quarantine, some of them are not as much. So I feel like we had to ask them some questions. We're bringing it to you guys.
Yeah. So make sure you stick around. This was fun. We'll do it again.
Yeah. Yep. We'll do it again with our third country next weekend.
To be named later.
Yep. We have another comment.
Oh.
Yes. So traveling in different countries with young kids, it's definitely something that you have to kind of get used to, because I feel like
totally.
At the beginning it was like we didn't really know what to expect, and we were serious overpackers. Like we have to make sure we have a surplus. At the first few trips, don't even, you too. We had to make sure that we had like more diapers than we ever needed. Now it's like we just have a few days covered and we know we can just buy diapers anywhere. But just things like that, I mean, we just kind of overthought everything. And then after like a few times, you just get like a little bit more used to it and you understand like what you actually need. And
this sounds really, 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 really stupid. But I think the biggest game changer for us was that we realized that, in fact, children exist. They have to have this in case this happens. They have to have this in case this happens. They have kids. You can buy more clothes. You can get more diapers. If you need medicine, you can get it. Although we do try to pack as much medicine as we can, just because, like, I don't know how to read a medicine label in Portuguese.
Yeah,
but
that is the one that you make sure you have just some of the basics. Like, I mean, just because it's a little bit hard. You know, we tried that when we were in Buenos Aires.
I had to go talk to a pharmacist.
And it's because
in broken Spanish and broken English.
That's the thing. When you're a lot of the tourists, like restaurants and stuff, they'll know like several languages, so it's a little easier. If you go to some like off the beaten track pharmacy, it's a lot harder if you don't know their language. So we definitely make sure that medication is the one that we just have kind of like the basics covered. But in terms of food, depends what age. But like for Everett or Olivia, when they were both newborns, I was breastfeeding, so we didn't really have to worry about too much there. But Everett was also supplementing with a little bit of formula. So we took a little bit of formula, and then we actually bought some when we were in Buenos Aires. And, you know, they have a lot of like brands that we have in the US, which I'm sure kind of match. They probably have similar brands depending on what country you live in. But it was pretty easy to find like formula and figure out from the label like what you were buying to make sure that it was nutritious and not just like something that you totally didn't want or didn't intend to buy. So that was pretty easy. Yeah.
But then with like actual food, I don't know what most people's style is, but we don't buy much baby food. Like when they're first starting out in salads, we literally just take what we're having for dinner and toss it in the blender, and that's what they eat. So traveling is no different. We just mush up our meal and give it to them and then cut up. And Olivia is a great eater, aren't you, buddy? You like food?
Yeah. We started off really young.
What?
Traveling with both of them.
No.
Oh, we weren't laughing at you. You're a good eater.
I smiled at you. I think you're a very good eater.
Oh, she thinks we're laughing at her.
Oh, come here.
So we started off with Olivia and Everett when they were really young, traveling. So we kind of just fed them. We kind of just fed them everything that we were eating. I mean, we'll just like kind of like cut up anything that we're eating, and so it's been kind of easy in that respect. But with young kids, we definitely always go to grocery stores. Anywhere we travel international, and they'll always have something for you. Like they have like hot dogs or baby food.
Maybe hot dogs are a bad example, but
I don't know. I'm just saying like that's the most like if you live in the US and your kid is like a piggy eater, hot dogs and mac and cheese are like, you know, so I just use that for a comparison. They'll have something for you in the grocery store. I mean, like cheeses, like anything really. So we always make sure that right when we get to a city, that we locate like the nearest grocery store right away. That's like and you know that like if they're not liking the local foods, you can at least like find them something from the grocery store.
Yeah.
Or there's always the tried and true McDonald's, which sometimes we have done.
Always do.
Yeah. But like
funny.
Most places will have like kid-friendly food if your kids aren't super used to like trying different foods. But yeah, I would say the best thing is to like maybe just try kind of like a balance, like try to get them to experience some new foods while also going to the grocery store and getting like some backup. So, you know, just in case.
We actually have a lot of videos about kid food, so make sure you subscribe so you can check those out and go back in history and check them out. But I mean, largely we kind of go with the opinion of figure it out as we go, and you know, what's the worst that'll happen? They'll get hungry enough to eat,
Yeah.
or they'll really, really enjoy it. And either way,
Yeah, I think it's just, it's after you've done it, because the first or second time that we traveled international, it was like we were a little bit like not sure what to expect. And then after that, we kind of learned like just the more flexible you can be, the easier it is, honestly. Like you just kind of go with it and you let your kids dictate your schedule a little bit, like when they're hungry, when they need to nap, what foods they'll eat, just things like that. And you just kind of be flexible with that and not be like so rigid with routine and like making sure they eat all the food groups all the time. Obviously like we want them to try different things, but like when you're there, like you just kind of let them experiment in the first like day or two, and then you go from there.
totally.
Yeah. So hopefully that answers that question. I think that was everything that we wanted to cover
I
on
think so.
Lisbon. So when we were in Portugal, we had just went to Lisbon, but we do want to go back and do more of the coast and then also hit Porto. So we're hoping to do that, but definitely one of our favorite kid-friendly locations.
As soon as isolation ends.
I know. Yeah.
I just can't wait.
Hopefully one day Portugal will meet again.
We're going to get out again.
We are. We're not going to be doing these lives forever from our house.
Right?
So, but if you have any other questions on Portugal, let us know in the comments and we will answer them. You can also check out some of our old videos that are not our best work, but we've improved since then.
Yeah. Too funny.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you subscribe and very much appreciate it. And look for our next video to come out here in the next few days.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, stay inside and stay safe.
Yep. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.